Byron and Candace here with 𝐵_Diamond_Leather. Thank you for coming back for part 2 of this punk rock battle jacket. Make sure to like and subscribe. Have a rad day. Drew this up yesterday. I don't like a couple of the parts of it, so it's always about modifying. So here is kind of the piece that I'm gonna do. I already know where I need to fill in for different things. And now it's about transferring this piece right here onto the leather. Transferring the design over. It's just a slow process of getting the lines all done. And over here, I'll trace this all out in hopes that it doesn't move too much on me. And I always have a piece of paper down for me so that I am not getting ink on my hand, because that is a big pain in the butt, because then it transfers to everything else. Okay, so I got it all outlined. I haven't done detail. This is just the basic outlines. And so now we just barely lift it up, make sure that it's everything that I want it to be and where. And then I'll go back in and I'll actually take, now this is my swivel knife, and I'll go through and I'll carve all that out. This is 6 to 7 ounce leather. You want to go about half of the depth of that leather when you're carving. That way when you bevel, it's really nice and clean. So when you're going down your lines, try to follow that line the best you can. But also keep in mind too that mistakes happen. And if you don't hit a line just perfect, that's all right. Now I'm going to go around this piece right here. And this is when the swivel part of this comes into play. You just slowly start to swivel around. Go up. And then I always kind of stop before the end of the line. And then I'll go back in and bring that line down, only because there's like this fancy flip thing that you can do, but I've just never been good at it. So, oh, also, so you don't always have to finish the whole entire line. If you're not able to, your wrist isn't working, or you've ran out of room, whatever the case may be, just start a little bit back, don't put a lot of pressure down, and then slowly add that pressure in. And then that way you'll get a good, smooth, consistent line. See how I stopped right there because I don't want to go into the other one. And so now I'll just go from this line, connect it in. Also, when you're touching raw leather, make sure you've washed your hands. Your oil will transfer over. Now I got to finish the rest of this. We will do it in a sped up montage with Cam Nilsson's jamming on the guitar.
Headed down the road on a death machine of steel. Rocked out off the brow, running to the hill. Right foot shift, left foot brake, I'm on the run. See, fuck you as I ride into the sun. Headed down the highway and I'm doing 65. She's all wrapped up and I hope the kid survives. Death trap, we all gotta die. Death trap.
All right, guys, so we're all done with the lining of it. Now we just have to go in and start adding depth and detail to the skull and to the crossbones. Now that we have that all done, We recase the leather, which is just getting it wet. You don't want your leather too wet, but you don't want it too dry either. And so now we need to go in and start adding some detail. So we have the Tandy tool P208. That's what it is. It allows me to do some cool depth. This is what I use all my tooling. But it's kind of hard to see with how I have to hold it, but you can kind of see how it bevels in the edges. Well, bevels in the leather. And I just try to think of how skulls look and where certain things are with their lines and the depth with any project I'm doing. And it'll come together at the very end. Like right now, it kind of looks a little bit like chaos with everywhere I'm going. But at the very end, it kind of all comes together and then it's like, okay, that made perfect sense. You almost have to think of this stuff in reverse because it really kind of has to be done in reverse. Okay, I'm going to go back through and kind of start adding in things different places, but we'll come back when I have a little bit more done. So we got all the details in. Candace is going to be going in and painting all of this, so it's not super heavily detailed like I normally would do. That way she can add in the depth and all that with the paint and dye. So now this is a beveler. It's angled, and this is what will allow me to start getting my depth and stuff around the lines that we carved in. So let's start right here. And this is a slow process. Don't try to speed through this part, because you want this part to be clean and crisp and good. This is what defines you as a leathersmith. Got the crossbones done, got my outline of where I'm going to cut it out. So there we go. Here we go with Candace getting the skull started on the paint. Tell us what you're doing, sweetheart.
So this is, I like to say fresh leather, which means it's just the natural color. I go in with my dye. So I use dye that you're able to get online or at Tandy. I'm just going in doing some rough shading, and then once I have it where I like the shading, I'm going to go ahead, start painting, and give it a lot of detail. Earlier you saw my highlighting, where I know where to go in. It gives me an idea of where I'm going to put contrast. Right now is also just part of the process. We're not even close to being finished, so stick around for more details. And I still have a little bit more to go. I have crossbones down here. I have the miniature skull that will be going on the front. This is a pretty fun one because I get to practice my shading. I'm using dye as well as leather paint.
Looking pretty rad.
Thank you.
This is the backing that we have going on right now. So let's get this sewed on and see how this goes. But I just think it's super rad. It's a rad art piece. And
It is. It's a wearable art piece.
okay, so there's that. Now I gotta sew on, change it out. Well, I glued on, well, I sewed on the front red, and then I glued on that skull. So now I need to take the red stitching and go all the way around this. We need to do a video on like maybe the 5 items that have changed our business for the better. This machine right here would be one of them.
1000%. That was a game changer.
This took us to a whole different level with our leather. And actually maybe that'll be one of the next videos we do. Okay, so now that I just trim off the one color I was going to use and I tie in the other one.
Hold on.
And then I just pull it out of the needle and pull it all the way through. That way I don't have to thread everything as I'm going through the new colors, and it's less waste too. So now it's time to sew on that other patch and go from there. So we're going to be stitching it on in red. So let's get to this. Right. Let's see how this looks.
I love it.
Looking pretty rad.
It looks rad.
It's a workshop.
It's fabulous.
This isn't TV, guys. This is real life.
Yeah!